We are back in Miami with Ken. Good to see you again, since it's only been a couple of minutes.
Great to see you as well, Mark.
I want to continue on our conversation and move a little bit into another type of talent in an organization. That's called board members, and they're obviously very valued leaders. Or can be, like you said, talent has to be engaged to be a number one asset. Board members can be effective or not. How do you view the role an HR professional, an HR executive can play on a board?
Well, I think overall, first in terms of board membership is not something to ever be taken lightly. And yet if we as HR talent leaders are convinced that talent ultimately makes or breaks an organization, then I believe HR executives can play an absolutely crucial role on both company and nonprofit boards. I happen to serve on multiple boards currently, and there I feel and think you'd get the feedback as well that I've been instrumental in helping those boards recognize talent gaps, structure new compensation systems where needed, introduce training plans and career maps where they oftentimes don't exist, especially in nonprofits, and especially ensure that key topics such as succession and sustainability are actually high on the board's priority list. Now, it's not just these HR competencies or components and activities that I think an HR executive can bring to the table and that are beneficial, but I also think we bring something special, which is oftentimes the voice of the enterprise, as I would call it, that HR can uniquely represent that also can greatly benefit these boards.
Yeah, that's actually fantastic because we do a lot of board advisory and board searches, and as you would know, boards have changed dramatically from the good old boys club of X years ago to a diversity that goes well beyond just men, women, black, white, but it goes younger, it goes different industries rather than the same one, visionaries, detailed, everything. And I think the people aspect, if you will, that HR can bring to a board is significant and invaluable, right?
100% agree. Absolutely.
So let me ask you another question about people again. That's developing relationships. Sure. And we find this a lot with board people or people that want board roles. They've been working so hard their whole life that they don't really have all the relationships they thought they had because they've been so busy working hard. And so they have a tough time maybe using those relationships in a positive way to get on boards and other things. But you've developed relationships over the years. You're obviously very actively involved in the community. I've seen it. And one thing I noticed having been, the reason I came to the States from Canada was I came as the executive director of JC's International at that time. It's this world headquarters in Coral Gables. And I noticed you're a JC senator and you're the president of JCI Poland and all that, which is great stuff. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
With up-and-coming leaders, taking all that into account, can you, what advice do you give them? Tell us how that can impact their personal and career growth.
Wow. I think to come back to what I said earlier about collaboration, I think those international networks or the networks in general that you build and taking responsibility as your CEO of me is in everyone's interest. And I think these international relationships and memberships in organizations like Junior Chamber International significantly help me develop three characteristics I'd say that in turn have positively impacted my personal and career growth. The first would be global mindset, which enabled me to be curious about international relations and other cultures, explore the world and experience so much. The second is being a lifelong learner and an agile learner at the same time, which helped me learn, adapt, and apply new things along the way. And the third would be being a collaborative, I call solutions architect, which has allowed me to apply critical thinking and a problem-solving mentality to the changing realities while building and maintaining strong relationships and teams all along the way.
No, it's great. I got a ton out of the, I still call them the JCs. JCs is
Sure.
As well. Unfortunately, we're too old for the JCs. now.
Indeed.
But tremendous organization, and I think you're right. The young people have to develop relationships and to be all different types of partners in the world today, for business or otherwise. So it's a great. Let me ask you some personal questions. Not that personal, but a little bit personal. These are kind of short answers. Do you have a pet? Do you have a pet?
A pet. I actually have two pets, or I say we have two pets, and I say that we have a bird named Bam Bam and a cat named Cinnamon. But where I say we have two pets, I'm sure my wife and daughter respectively would say that they are their dog and their cat respectively.
Got it. And we are doing a series that just developed when an executive, as we said, you have something called executives and their pets, and it's transformed into pets and their executives now. And so everybody is sending us pictures of themselves with their pets. So don't forget to send us one of you with them, and we'll highlight it.
Got it.
Do you have a favorite activity or sport?
Well, being down here in South Florida, I have to admit I like to golf, and you'd think being down here I should probably be a much better golfer than I am. I like to say I'm good enough that I don't embarrass myself and bad enough that our clients always win. So that makes it good for the golf outings. And other than movies with friends and travel are a couple other hobbies.
Got it. Well, when they told me a long time ago my best golfing is the golf cart, my best driving is the golf cart, that was enough. So, do you have a favorite? Speaking of movies, do you have a favorite movie or TV show even?
Probably the older movies. I'd have to say Forrest Gump remains one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
And in terms of TV show, do a lot of TV watching, unless it's around sports, but do like Shark Tank.
Oh, that's a good one. What is it? Life is like a box of chocolates, right?
There we go.
How about music and food? Do you have favorites?
Very eclectic taste and I'm open to exploration and experimentation. But if I had to go back to some go-tos on there, it'd probably be jazz or some classic Billy Joel in terms of music. And in terms of food, absolutely anything fresh from the grill.
Awesome. Well, you showed your international exposure there, because my favorite word in the whole dictionary is awareness, and that comes from being exposed internationally to all sorts of things. So it keeps you more aware and more open. Hey, listen, thank you so much for your perspectives, your insights. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate it.